Hello, I'm Murray Hitzman, Director of iCRAG. I'm going to talk to you today about the critical need for primary metals and their availability in Europe. And this will be sort of the start kickoff to a panel discussion that will follow the talk. So my take-home messages that I want to sort of frame this around. Europe does have a critical need for a number of primary or mined metals. Europe has fantastic geological potential. It really hasn't been explored anywhere near the detail that Canada has been, or Australia, or the Andes. And Europe is similar to other Western jurisdictions in that regulation and social attitudes are really important. However, it differs in the lack of geoscience information. So we need more geoscience information to explore it well. I want to say that iCRAG is involved in a number of areas in Europe, not only the research. We're actually working with the EC to go to Horizon Europe to help to have more research dollars for looking for metals, primary metals in the EU. And we're also working through the EC and with different governments to help them understand why actually mining metals in Europe is not only important, but can be very profitable. So iCRAG can help you become part of Europe's future. So what's iCRAG itself? Well, it's a Science Foundation of Ireland research center for applied geosciences. It's a team of researchers creating solutions for a sustainable society. We develop innovative science and technologies to better understand primarily ore systems and sedimentary basins, to aid in the discovery and production of raw materials. And we leverage expertise from all sectors of the minerals and petroleum sectors. So, iCRAG Minerals is expanding, internationalizing, and commercializing. And while in our last 6 years of existence, we've focused on Ireland, we're also carrying out research right now elsewhere in Europe, in Africa, and in North and South America. And last year, we developed a whole series of new partners, new international projects, and we have a lot more in the pipeline for 2021. So what's our value to the minerals industry? The things I see that we do that help you are we improve genetic models of deposits and mineral districts through 4D tectonostratigraphic and geochemical research. We develop and improve exploration tools, geochemical, geophysical, primarily seismic at the moment, and utilizing technologies such as machine learning. We develop new geochemical and thermal vectoring technologies, and really importantly, we provide the professionals who will be the industry of the future. And we directly aid industry in discovering new mineral deposits. So the example I have here on the screen is Group 11, a junior exploring in Ireland, announced last December, intersection of 7.2 meters of almost 24% zinc, 6.5% lead, 108 grams silver per ton, and 0.12 copper at Carrick-Kittle, a project we've been involved with them for the last several years. iCRAG has a number of world-class analytical facilities. We have electron beam instruments for mineral mapping and analysis. We have laser ablation ICP-MS for trace element analysis and mapping. We do geochronology, primarily in uranium, lead, and radium osmium systems. We have high precision isotopic ratio analysis for a whole host of elements and metals. And we do trace and ultra trace element analysis of aqueous solutions. We work on analytical development, we work on training, and we certainly try and have knowledge exchange and partnerships with companies and analytical groups. iCRAG is also involved in ESG, environmental, social, and governance issues. In July of 2019, we actually had a workshop on natural resources issues called Restore, which brought together 42 young researchers, both geo and social scientists, to Ireland. And that workshop was funded by UNESCO and the IOGS, as well as a number of the world's major mining companies, including Teck. And last December, iCRAG sponsored the Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion in Geosciences Conference, which brought together hundreds of individuals from around the world together virtually. So now I want to move into Europe. Europe does have an annual material demand for renewable energy and EV batteries that is increasing dramatically. As these graphs show, for lithium, graphite, cobalt, nickel, and manganese in both renewable energy and electric vehicles, where we're going from 2020 today to 2050, the graphs all show incredible growth. But not only that, these graphs do not include the other metals used in even greater quantities. Aluminum, copper, iron, zinc, all needed for these technologies. And the bottom line is that huge amounts of metals are required for the EU to achieve its 2050 climate goals. This image shows where the metals are coming to in Europe right now. And like much of the rest of the developed world and the developing world, the metals are coming from China, with other significant producers being Russia and several countries in Southern Africa. As you can see, Europe does not produce many of its own metals. 43% of the world's hafnium does come from France, and 11% of the world's germanium comes from Finland. And I'm going to tell you about tellurium in a little bit as well. But overall, most of the critical metals are sourced somewhere else. And if we look at other metals, this is a graph from the European Commission of different metal dependence. You can see that, like the United States and like actually much of Canada, many of the metals actually need to be imported, and many over 50%. The EU is highly dependent on outside sources for almost all its metal resources. So a couple of individual metals and what we might be able to find in the EU. This map shows cobalt mines, prospects, and occurrences in Europe. And what you can see is there's cobalt prospects completely across the continent. And not only that, there's 3 deposits in Finland, which are or have been producing cobalt in the recent past. We look at rare earth elements, somewhat the same. A number of occurrences and interesting occurrences in Scandinavia, and then in Greenland, which we do take to be part of Europe, a number of very, very significant rare earth prospects. And finally, I just want to take a look at lithium. Lithium is actually found throughout Europe in a number of different types of geology. iCRAG is actually a member of the Green Peg Research Consortium, which has a total of 9.2 million euro in total funding, research funding from the EC. And that research consortium is investigating lithium pegmatites in Austria, Finland, Portugal, Spain, and of course, Ireland. And the inset shows some of the mineral mapping we've been doing to show where the tantalum and the niobium actually are. So to go to mining in Ireland, or mining in the EU, Ireland is a major miner in the EU. Mining is conducted throughout the continent, but is focused really in different parts. Ireland is one. The top image shows the former Lachine mine, which is now under rehabilitation, and it now hosts a biological and agricultural research center. The lower image shows the Navan mine, which is Europe's largest zinc mine. It operates immediately adjacent to, and in fact, partially underneath, the town of Navan with 30,000 inhabitants. This image shows the Kankberg mine in the Skellefteå district of Sweden. High-grade material. This is a 10 million ton deposit of 3.5 grams gold and 162 grams per ton tellurium. It supplies 10% of the world's tellurium. So we do have interesting deposits in Sweden. This is a relatively recent discovery. Exploration in the EU. Modern exploration and discoveries are certainly possible in Europe if they're conducted in a socially responsible manner. The one I'm highlighting here is the 2012 discovery of the Tara Deep deposit. Again, this is the image you saw before of the town of Navan, the mine site, and now it shows the seismic image that was used to actually do the exploration. The target was hit on the first drill hole at a depth of 1.5 kilometers, where you can see they hit 32 meters of 11% zinc. So this is exploration, modern exploration, done in a very socially and environmentally responsible means. So minerals in the EU have to be socially responsible. European exploration and mining is clean, safe, and environmentally friendly, just as it is in Canada. And mining within the EU is also a means to cut the overall carbon footprint of metals production, something that should actually get the costs down. So 21st century mineral exploration in the EU has to be responsive to its social context, clearly. It has to be profitable, otherwise it won't be done. And it is absolutely required to achieve Europe's 2050 climate goals. iCRAG is here to help provide industry with the innovative and integrative research required for success in the EU. And not only that, we help partners around the world provide the resources required for a sustainable future. Thanks very much, and I look forward to your questions in the panel discussion. Sorry.